everybody. Thank you for joining me today for Yoga Fundamentals 1. This is a beginner level class, and the only prop you're gonna need is a blanket. So if you have a blanket handy, grab a blanket. It doesn't have to be a fancy Mexican yoga blanket. And if you don't have a mat, you can just do this on your carpet or a rug or on a blanket. Okay, laying down onto your back. You can extend your legs out straight and let your feet fall open, or you can bend your knees and put your feet on the floor. It doesn't matter. Either way is great. Start to deepen your breath. Excuse me. Placing your hands onto your low ribs and your fingers onto your belly. Let your elbows just rest on the ground. As you take some full inhales and exhales, notice your rib cage expand and your belly rise and fall. One more full inhale. And exhale. Moving your focus from your breath to your body and where it's touching the floor. So if your knees are bent and feet on the floor, notice the soles of your feet on the ground. If your legs are outstretched, your heels and your calves. Moving up the body to the sacrum, right above your tailbone, that hard spot pressing into the floor. Your rib cage, shoulder blades, the back of your head. Notice where your arms are touching the floor and which way your hands, your palms are facing, either up or down. And then move your focus to the sounds around you, in your space and outside of your space. There are the more prominent sounds, and then there are the subtle sounds that once you are quiet, and I'm quiet, you'll be able to hear, like the furnace or the air conditioner, traffic, birds, clock ticking, fan, the hum in the walls. Come back to your breath. Take a big full body stretch. Take a deep inhale. Reach your arms up overhead. And then bring your arms down by your sides. With your legs extended out onto your mat, let your feet fall open. Turn your palms up to the ceiling. Tuck your shoulder blades a little bit. Using one of those as your anchor, the breath, the touch of the floor, your body on the floor, or sound, find that now. Find your anchor. Laying here with the legs outstretched and your feet falling open, palms up to the ceiling and your shoulder blades tucked a little. This is your neutral spine today. This could be different tomorrow based on whatever you do today and stress. So here's your neutral spine. Try to memorize this shape. Bending your knees, put your feet on the floor, open your arms out like a T or just away from your body. Start to windshield wiper your knees back and forth. So the knees are going to fall to one side and then to the other. Your feet can be together or you can take them wider, like as wide as your mat. You can do windshield wipers fast or slow. You could also include turning your head in the opposite direction of your knees. A few more times back and forth. Go a little slower and just add a twist. Maybe drawing that top knee up higher towards your shoulder. Switching sides. Twisting. Come back to center. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Cross your ankles. Squeeze your knees in, put your hands on your shins, rock a little side to side. Notice how your low back feels. Take your knees in some circles. Placing your feet back on the floor about hip width apart, knees bent. Moving your arms out or overhead. Lifting from your rear end first, push your feet into the floor. Rolling up, lifting your glutes away from the floor as high as you can, squeeze them at the top. And then roll back down. Allowing your sacrum to come all the way down and then lift your middle back like you're making a rainbow with your spine. Notice how your head kind of rocks back and forth as you do this. Push your back down to the floor, rolling up, press your feet down, lifting up as high as you can, taking your hips away from the floor, squeeze your glutes at the top. And then rolling back down, rounding as you come down. And then when your sacrum hits the floor, making that rainbow. Press down. Lifting up again into bridge. As high as you can. Squeeze your glutes and roll back down. Last rainbow with your spine, and down. Moving your arms wherever they feel comfortable, extending your right leg up towards the ceiling, straighten your knee, move your ankle around your toes in big circles, counterclockwise a few times, clockwise a few times. Now, notice if your breath has become shallow, take some full inhales and exhales. Crossing that right ankle on top of your left quad. So place your ankle bone right onto your thigh, flex your right foot, pull your toes back towards your shin. Bringing your left knee in towards your chest if you can, using your stomach muscles. You could also thread the needle and take your hands around your left hamstring, your left leg. Keep breathing for 3, 2, and 1. Put your left foot down. Take your right leg up and down all the way to the ground. Extend your leg straight, your right leg. Bring your left knee into your chest. Squeeze it in with your hands. Interlace your fingers around that shin. Squeeze it in. Guide your left knee all the way to the right. We're going to roll onto that right hip. Holding on to your left knee with your right hand. Left knee, right hand. Sweep your left arm up to the ceiling and open out to the left, opening your shoulders towards the floor, turning your nose to the ceiling or to the left, reaching your left hand out, opening your fingers wide, stretching your wrist, turning it in a few circles. Palm down, palm up. Take a full inhale. And exhale, roll onto your back. Put your feet back on the floor. Lifting your left leg up. Extend your knee, straighten it, moving your toes around in big circles, your ankle and foot, so that you feel a nice stretch in your calf and shin, top of the foot, inner outer ankle, and hamstring. Breathing. Do a couple more big circles with your foot. And then flexing, take that ankle bone and put it onto your thigh, your right thigh, bringing your right knee into your chest. Use your abs or interlace your fingers around your hamstring. 1, and breathe. Breath is super important in yoga too. 3. The shapes don't matter. Just use your breath. Whatever shape you make is perfect. It doesn't have to look like me. Do what's right for you. And 1, put your right foot down, lift your left leg up, take it down to the ground. Left leg down. Bring your right knee in toward your chest, squeeze it in with your hands. Guide your right knee way over to the left side, all the way over. Roll onto that left hip. Sweep your right arm up and open to the right. Take a big stretch with that right arm. Open your fingers. Turn your nose up or to the right. And then turn your palm down and turn it up. Your right shoulder may or may not touch the floor, and who cares? I don't care. Mine doesn't touch the floor. Take a full inhale and exhale. Roll onto your back. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Rock and roll forward and back as needed. I like to do this a few times. My floor is foam, although it looks like wood. It's actually a Taekwondo floor. So rolling back and forth is easy on my spine, but you may be on a hardwood floor, and so that's not gonna feel awesome. So, if you don't wanna rock and roll, I totally get it. Grabbing your blanket. I am gonna fold my blanket just in half. So it's just a smaller or a higher rectangle, but you could keep it flat. Take your blanket and put it under your rear end. This is just one option to sit. If you don't sit this way and it feels terrible on your knees, then don't sit this way. It's quite simple, actually. Just make sure that however you sit is easy and that you can stay here for a few minutes. Sitting up tall, close your eyes, palms up or down. Find your anchor, breath, touch, or sound. moving your right ear to your right shoulder, chin to chest, left ear over, chin to chest. Repeat a few more times. You don't have to go this fast. If it feels right to stay in one spot and stretch right there, go for it. One more time. And bring your head back to neutral. Sweep your arms in a big circle up. Inhale, press your palms together. Slide them down to heart center. Again, inhale, reach your arms up. Press your palms together. Slide them down to heart center. Incorporate your breath. Inhaling. Palms together. Exhale down to heart center. One more time. Reach up, inhale. Now, as you exhale, take your right hand to your left knee and wrap your right arm around, what did I just say? Right hand, left knee, wrap your left arm around your back. It doesn't matter, we're just twisting, right? Reach up, inhale, switch directions. Exhale as you twist. Hold on to that knee for some leverage. Inhaling, reach up. Closing your eyes, just move with your own breath. One more time. Ending by reaching up, come back to center. Exhale, hands down behind your back, interlace your fingers. Drawing your hands down, tucking your chin, and then reaching your arms away from you as you fold a little bit. Coming back up, let go. Shake your arms out and come forward into tabletop. That blanket is going to go under your knees now. So take the blanket and put it under your knees and come into tabletop. Rounding your back, exhale, tuck your chin, and then arching, inhale. Moving with your own breath, feel free to add any movements that feel right. Hip circles, child's pose, down dog. Try to follow your movements with your breath. Incorporate the two together. I think that most yogis, when they start, the hardest part, it's not the moves. It's not doing stuff like this. It's not triangle or child's pose. It's actually moving with your breath and learning how to do that the whole time. I get questions about that all the time. So just try. This is a simple, easy way to breathe and move. Rounding exhale, arching inhale. This time, as you exhale, press your hips toward your heels into child's pose. Your knees can be together or apart. Press your palms into the floor and use them to press your hips toward your heels. They may never get there. It does not matter. Also, if your head doesn't touch the floor, who cares? Mine's not. I don't have my head on the floor. Hurts my shoulder when I go down that low if I'm reaching out in front. But I think I might have a little tear in my shoulder. But I'm not going to get it checked out. Because that's just me. I'm going to let it hurt forever. Okay, coming up into tabletop. Tuck your toes and lift your hips high into down dog.
And walk it out. You're just going to bend one knee as you straighten one knee, and then bend one knee and straighten one knee. Relax your neck. Take some full inhales and exhales. Dropping your right knee down to the floor with your left leg out. You're going to press yourself up and turn so that you're just kneeling on your right knee and your left leg is out straight to the side of you. Slide your left hand down towards your knee and reach your right arm up and over. Just take a big side stretch. Don't worry about how far you go down your leg. The way that your hips are faced straight forward right now and your quad is facing, your knee is facing forward, these femur hip movements don't really go together. So it doesn't matter how far you go down, eventually your pelvis and your femur are going to run into each other, so don't worry about that. Think of this as like an oblique rib cage stretch. We're going to lean on out to that right hand, place it on the floor, and lift your left leg. Reach your left arm up and over or straight up. I'm going to go straight up to the ceiling, but you could reach over to the wall. Lift your gaze towards your left hand or the ceiling. Flex your left foot, tighten your quad, lift your leg a little higher. Take a full inhale. And then exhale. Look down and turn this into tabletop. Tucking your toes, press back into down dog. And walk it out. Dropping your left knee down to your blanket. Coming up so that your right leg is out to the side and you're up on your left knee. You're going to be kneeling. This is called Parigasana. Slide your right hand down towards your right calf and reach your left arm up and over. And just give your side a big stretch. You can look down or up or forward. Doesn't matter. Breathing 3, 2, and 1. Take that left hand down to the ground and then reaching your right arm up, lift that right leg. Your right arm can be up or reaching over. Looking up increases the difficulty. Flex your right ankle and tighten your quad. Lift that right leg another inch so you're really engaging your gluteus medius, that's your hip. Full inhale. Look down and turn this into tabletop. Tuck your toes back into down dog. Walking forward, walk forward. You can move your blanket to the side. Take your feet about hip width apart. Now I'm going to turn my toes out, but you can keep your toes forward. It doesn't matter. Bend your knees generously, grab opposite elbows, and then just hang over. Relax your neck. If you want to sway side to side, go for it. I'm not going to. I don't really do that very well. So I'm turning my toes out because for years and years and years I've been turning my toes forward, and I actually have a hamstring issue that it feels better if I just turn my toes out when I do this. Letting go, bring your hands down to the mat and then press up and just walk up to your knees. Make your arms straight so that your arms are like supporting your body and your knees are your shelves. Look forward
and your head should be above your heart. With a neutral spine, stand up. Reach up, inhale. A little back bend at the top, just to stretch your front ribs. And then fold right back over. Feel free to bend your knees. Inhale, come up halfway. And then fold over again. Stand up. Reach up. Palms together overhead, and then slide your hands down to heart center and bring your arms down by your sides. Turning to the side of your mat, take your feet wide, turn your toes forward. Place your hands to your waist. Inhaling, fold over, put your hands onto the floor or grab opposite elbows. Take an inhale and exhale. Try to relax a little, not your quads. Draw your quads tight. Draw your waist in, your Uddiyana Bandha. Relax your neck, relax your face. Fix your gaze. You can use your arms as brakes, or you can use them as weights by grabbing opposite elbows and letting your head hang and your arms hang. Lifting up a little. Walk over to that right foot. Walk your hands over to your right foot and then lift that back heel up and away from the floor. Stepping back with your right foot into down dog. Feel free to lift your right leg high, or you can just step back into down dog. Same knee, right knee, we're going to bring it forward, right knee to right wrist, and then come down into pigeon. It doesn't matter if you sit on your hip or not. Who cares? I don't care. Don't hurt your right knee. You can fold over or you can sit up tall. Just breathe into your right hip for 3, 2, and 1. Now, this is kind of fancy. We're going to turn to the long end of the mat. So press your chest up. You're going to turn to the long end of the mat and take your legs into a V. Again, we're going to fold. So we just did this standing. We're going to fold forward, and it doesn't matter how far you go. Maybe you just want to sit up tall. Breathing deeply, 2. 3, 4, and 5. Press yourself up. We're going to go over to that left leg, bend your left knee, and turn this into pigeon. So you're going to turn to the short end of the mat, bending the left knee and extending your right leg back. And you can fold forward or sit up tall. You should not feel this in your left knee. It shouldn't hurt, is what I'm saying. If it does, I can't help you adjust, but I would just change your position somehow. Pressing your chest up, sweep your right leg around and extend both of your legs out in front of you. Grab your blanket, fold it. I'm actually going to make a burrito. I'm going to make a burrito by just rolling my mat, my blanket. And then I'm going to take that blanket. You can just fold it, and I'm going to put it behind me a little bit further back than my rear end. So I have like 8 inches. Maybe I'll go a little bit further back than my rear end. And as I lay back, it should hit my rib cage, not my low back. So rib cage, not low back. And my head should be supported. It is. Yep, I got it. Okay, good. And I'm going to open my arms out. And just let them fall open. My feet are falling open. This is just a little chest stretch. Take some full inhales and exhales. This is called modified fish or supported fish. Take another deep inhale. Let your front ribs expand up. And exhale. Just roll to one side. Just roll over. You shouldn't be very far from the floor. Just roll over. Remove that blanket and lay back down. Now, I'm going to take that same blanket and fold it in half so it's a rectangle, a little more like a pillow. And I'm going to take that pillow and put it under my head and neck and head. Bending your knees, put your feet back on the floor. Windshield wiper your knees back and forth. Back to center. Sliding your legs out onto your mat. Let your feet fall open. Arms can be out by your sides or out like a T. Or maybe you want to interlace your fingers and rest them onto your belly. Close your eyes. Take a full inhale, everybody. And let it go. Shavasana is constructive rest period. CRP, constructive rest period. Shavasana means corpse pose, but it doesn't have to look like any certain shape. Traditional corpse is just laying flat. If you find your low back is hurting, bend your knees, put your feet on the floor. Shavasana is done at the end of every class in yoga. It's a time to let your mind wander and then bring it back to your anchor and to really reap all the benefits, all the rewards of your practice. Separate your teeth. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax your forehead. Come back to your anchor, breath, touch, or sound. Take a full inhale and exhale. Move your fingers and toes and your wrists and ankles. Take a stretch. Reach your arms up overhead. Stretch your jaw, stretch your tongue. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Squeeze them in. Keeping your head on the floor, rock a little side to side. Roll to your right. Draw your knees in. Use your arm like a pillow. Pressing yourself up into a comfortable seat.
Doesn't matter what it looks like. Close your eyes. Bring your palms together, thumbs to sternum. Lower your chin. Thank you so much for joining me in this yoga class. Thank you for being present and trying new things and letting me guide you. Lokaha samasta sukhi no bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free of suffering. Namaste. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today, and I hope to see you in the studio really soon. Goodbye.